Today on Return to Dragonlance number 6, Dragon Knights, the dragons who ride the Athlorks, or at least the metallic ones. I'm not sure the chromatic do that. So right now I'm sitting outside on a patio making D&D videos as part of what I do to get paid. I'm a professional game master, and if you're a game master and you've thought of making some money at it, you can too. We have at the Game Shop's basement a 7 days to Pro GM course that teaches in 7 lessons what took me 50 days to do to build up my business to the point where I don't need my job anymore. So that's kind of exciting. Or maybe you just want to make a little extra money, have a little bit of a diverse income stream. That's kind of a smart thing to do these days with the world being all crazy. Or you might want something that you can work from home without having to go anywhere. Well, check into Pro DMing. So at GameShopsBasement.com, at the top of the webpage, we've got a banner that will take you to a page where you can learn more information about the 7 days to Pro GM course. And it's fun. It's exciting. Check it out. So last time, in Return to Dragonlance number 5, we talked about the Athlorks, the more neutral-leaning dragons of Taladas. Now we're going to do Return to Dragonlance number 6. We're going to talk about Dragon Knights of Taladas. So after that Time of the Dragon box set came out, that was the big release of Taladas, the big reveal of, hey, let's expand Kryn and Dragonlance to another continent with different peoples and cultures and stuff like that, different maps. There were 3 modules that the Taladas trilogy, Dragon Dawn, Dragon Knight, and Dragon's Rest. And these adventures, trilogy of adventures, came out in support of the Taladas box set. And they introduced right away in the first one, Dragon Dawn, a really neat big concept that I think they must have thought of later, because it's kind of big once I start describing it. Dragon Knights, yeah, that sounds like it's a big deal. I think if they would have thought of that up front, they should have put that in the box set, because that's such a big part of Taladas. But if you have the support modules, they talk about the Dragon Knights, and they actually have abilities that Dragon Knights have. So what are Dragon Knights? Who are they? Well, I mentioned in Return to Dragonlance number 5, the Athlorks, that even though the Athlorks dragons of Taladas are more neutral in their alignment, they're more neutral in their outlook, the metallic ones still lean heavily good, and the chromatic ones still lean heavily evil. And so even though the metallic dragons of Taladas don't want to be involved in the cosmic worldwide struggles, classically between Takesis and Paladine, but now that Paladine and Takesis are gone, still between the gods of evil and the gods of light, the Athlorks dragons don't really want to be involved so much in those cosmic things, but they're still kind of involved locally. The metallic ones are. And so the metallic ones kind of adopt a territory, and being generally good dragons, they want to live in harmony with nature, they want to live in harmony with people. And the way that they've done this in Taladas is good aligned dragons, brass, copper, bronze, silver, and gold. A lot of them have adopted not just humans. It could be an elf, could even be a dwarf, could be a minotaur, any sort of player character race. But they've adopted riders called Dragon Knights, and they live with the Dragon Knight in the module Dragon Dawn, the first Dragon Knights that we're introduced to. There's a married couple of humans with a mated pair of copper dragons, and so the copper dragons are mates, and the 2 humans are married to each other. So it's kind of, and what they wound up doing was they protected this town. This town was in a valley that the copper dragons used as their hunting territory, and so the copper dragons would keep beasts and things away from the town, and in return the town would actually send like cows up to the dragons once in a while, and little bits of treasure sometimes, just to say thank you and give tribute for the protection. So Dragon Knights are pretty cool. You can play one. One of the things about the Dragonlance setting when the developers came out with it was they wanted uh, dragons to be a much more common part of Dragonlance, because in D&D up to that time, dragons had been like some kind of like an end game boss. Dragons had been something that, oh yeah, really high level players might tangle with a dragon. You know, dragons are something that, you know, you don't want to deal with as a lobby. You know, as a lobby dealing with dragons is just certain death. And so in Dragonlance, they wanted to bring dragons into D&D, you know, in a way that characters would interact with them more, and that dragons would be, you know, on the scene more and in stories more, because dragons were like more rare and high level things before, and dragons are in the name of the game. The game is Dungeons and Dragons, so uh, being a Dragon Knight of Taladas for your character is kind of it's a neat way to have, you know, dragons involved in the story, to have your character interacting with dragons more. Yeah, it's really cool. So Dragon Knights. So they have in the Dragon Knights section of those modules, the Taladas trilogy, Dragon Dawn, Dragon Knight, and Dragon's Rest. It actually has now it was written for second edition, so obviously I've converted it for our table. But there are, you know, abilities in riding a dragon that you can have for your character that would be pretty cool. You do not have to be a warrior class. You don't have to be like a fighter um, or a paladin or a barbarian or a ranger. I'm sure it would help. I'm sure most of them are. I mean, if you really wanted to be, you know, a wizard dragon knight, I don't think they would stop you. It might be a little harder, and you might not have the same build um, as a dragon knight who was a fighter, but I don't think there's really a class requirement. So, but those are the Dragon Knights of Taladas. They play a big part. They play a big part, obviously, in the Taladas trilogy of modules: Dragon Dawn, Dragon's Rest, or Dragon Dawn, Dragon Knight, and Dragon's Rest. And we have been exploring those modules on Friday night in the Game Shop's basement. So, Dragon Knights of Taladas, they're a thing. So if playing a Dragon Knight sounds cool to you because it's a player character thing in Dragonlance Taladas, let me know. We're doing Dragonlance Taladas on Friday nights right now in the Game Shop's basement. In the meantime, we'll see you in game.